Here's an old tweet I did about my friend Luke. Luke Hiltone once tried asking for a foot-long meatball at Subway. Instead, looked the server in the eye and said, "I want a football, please." This tweet is 4.5 years old and somehow still picking up likes, so I thought, let's look at some more of Twitter's accidental portmanteaus, aka results from searching "tried to say" and "at the same time." On my Christmas walk with my dog, past someone in the street, tried to say "morning," "hiya," and "Merry Christmas" all at the same time, and ended up just blurting out, "Moira!" Just tried to say "it's not your fault" and "it's alright" to a customer at the same time and accidentally said "it's all your fault." Last night I misdialed a number, tried to say "I'm sorry" and "my bad" at the same time, ended up telling a stranger that I'm bad. Tried to say ballet and nutcracker at the same time, ended up telling my mum I was watching a live stream of the Buttcracker. Tried to say enjoy the movie and enjoy the film at the same time and wound up saying enjoy the MILF. Tried to say no problem and my bad at the same time to a customer and I ended up saying no bad, no bad. And she looked at me like a caveman. Thinking of that time at work, a customer came in and I tried to say how are you and what can I do for you at the same time and ended up gently whispering what are you? To a now frightened elderly woman. Just tried to say Pepsi and Coke at the same time to the waiter and asked for a poke. 3 emojis. Just tried to say hi and how are you at the same time and kind of said I was carrying some recycling to the garage and my grandmother asked me if I needed a bag. I tried to say I'm good and I've got it at the same time and accidentally said I'm God. I just tried to say sleep well and sweet dreams at the same time and I ended up saying a swip whip. Was talking to a cute receptionist and tried to say sweet and awesome at the same time. Ended up just saying sauce. Tried to say screaming and crying at the same time and audibly said creaming. Customer just asked if she could take a leaflet. Tried to say go for it and do at the same time. Shouted go at her and she just smiled and left. Yes, jab. I just tried to say fuck yeah and rock on at the same time and it came out as fuck on. Managed to ask a guest, would you like your bread slut? When I tried to say sliced and cut at the same time. Bus driver said howdy. I tried to say howdy and thanks at the same time and I looked her dead in the eye and said throat. Today I tried to say that's no problem and not a bother to a customer at the same time when he asked for a receipt and came out with that's a problem. Tried to say hot cocoa and hot chocolate at the same time and ended up saying hot cock it. Today a girl I know I've seen before said hey and I nervously tried to say hey and what's up at the same time but said yes ups. Just tried to say you're very welcome and you're welcome at the same time to a customer and ended up saying you're welcome like some kind of weird vampire waiter. In other news, I tried to say fingers fucking crossed and Jesus Christ at the same time and came out with fingers fucking Christ. Skahool emoji. If you ever feel bad about yourself, then just remember that at work the other day, this woman told me, oh, I love coffee. And I tried to say, I'm addicted and I'm an addict at the same time. And I ended up just saying, I'm a dick. Tried to say, take it easy and peace out at the same time to a co-worker, but shouted, take it out. My hairdresser asked me to come over to the sink and I tried to say, okay, thanks and no worries at the same time and said, no, thanks, no. I just tried to say pussy and party pooper at the same time, so I just called my dad a pussy pooper. Just tried to say you're welcome and you bet at the same time and ended up telling my mum you're wet. I actually tried to say King Kong and Donkey Kong at the same time and said kinky dong. Please end me. I just tried to say right and yeah at the same time and I ended up sounding like a baby dinosaur. Woman at work just told me that her nephew passed away and my brain tried to say that's terrible and that's horrific at the same time and I said, well, that's terrific. In our faculty meeting yesterday, our principal tried to say quick and brief at the same time and said queef in front of all 100+ teachers. Just remembered the last time I got my hair done, my hairdresser asked me if I had the flu and I tried to say, no, it's hay fever, it's a pollen allergy at the same time and actually ended up saying, have you got the flu? No, I'm Polynesian. While on the phone with a customer once, I tried to say ma'am and calm down at the same time and ended up saying mum down. Today at work I nearly fell and I tried to say I almost ate shit and I almost busted ass at the same time and ended up loudly proclaiming I almost ate ass in front of several of my employees. Also, Merry Christmas everyone. The other day I tried to say perfect and awesome at the same time. I ended up shouting possum at the car salesman. I just tried to say have a good weekend and have a good day at the same time and I accidentally screamed have a good dickend at an elderly woman. Just tried to say shot and drink at the same time and it came out I need a shrink. I think the funniest story ever to me is still that person who knocked someone to the ground while playing soccer and tried to say, "I'm so fucking sorry," and "Are you okay?" at the same time, and accidentally just shouted, "Are you fucking sorry?" I tried to say clutch and lit at the same time. Guess what came out of my mouth? And finally, I didn't find this tweet directly, and I actually think it's since been deleted, but it is good. One time I went to hand someone a bowl of hot soup, and my brain tried to say, "Careful, it's hot, and here's your soup." So instead, I blurted out, "Careful, it's soup."